Welcome all. My name is Mike Beliveau. I'm the Executive Director of the Environmental Health Strategy Center. And thank you to all the children and parents and health advocates and members of the legislature who are here today. This event has evolved. When we planned it a few weeks ago, we had a slightly different context in mind. We planned it as a celebration of the Kid Safe Products Act that was passed in 2008, which is aimed at protecting the health of Maine children from unnecessary toxic chemicals in everyday products. We also planned it as a thank you to the 74 members of the legislature that still serve in the current legislature that voted in support of that law. And those members are listed on one of our poster boards over here. We have some thank you gifts as well, tokens of our appreciation, BPA-free water bottles over in the window bay there that we're intending to give to every member of the legislature who voted yes on the bill in 2008. It was passed by an overwhelming bipartisan margin, and the first priority chemical to be designated under the 2008 law was and is bisphenol A, or BPA, which is the notorious chemical that wreaks hormone havoc. It used to be the common substance in the plastic, in the old versions of those water bottles, plastic baby bottles, and sippy cups. And Maine has adopted a rule that will phase out the use of BPA in reusable food and beverage containers in an orderly fashion, and require further study and information from product makers about whether BPA is being used and whether there are safer alternatives in infant formula cans, in baby food jars, in child care articles, toys, and tableware. Maine was the 9th state in the country to adopt restrictions on bisphenol A. So all of that was part of our original planning for this event, a celebration and a thank you, and frankly also in anticipation of having to defend this law from attack by the chemical industry. The companies that make bisphenol A and the chemical industry nationally has been relentlessly opposed to any state regulation of chemicals, and for that matter, any federal regulation of chemicals. And we anticipate that they will be back in this upcoming legislature to try to attack this law. So all of that was our original thinking. However, things changed on Monday. And it was on Monday that our governor, Governor Paul LePage, made a series of recommendations that would roll back protections for human health related to environmental pollutants. He specifically took aim at several of the issues we're talking about today, calling for a repeal of the BPA rule, calling for a gutting of the Kid Safe Products Act, and calling for Maine to become a Mississippi, where we had the lowest possible minimal federal requirements for protection of human health. And frankly, we're appalled that Governor LePage would advance the chemical industry attack on the health of Maine children. It's really shocking. Welcome. We just started here. We all know the governor is a reformer, and there's a good case to be made for reform. We also know the old saying about reformers that go too far, which is don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. But when Governor LePage joined with the chemical industry in attacking the Kid Safe Products Act, that's like poisoning the baby first and then throwing the baby out with the bathwater. It's really outrageous. It's beyond the pale. Maine parents won't stand for it. Maine grandparents won't stand for it. We're confident that the Maine legislature won't stand for that either. I do take solace in the fact that in 2008, the Kid Safe Products Act passed by an overwhelming bipartisan margin, 35-0 in the Senate on a roll call vote, 129-9 in the House of Representatives. Not one single Maine company stood up in opposition to the Kid Safe Products Act in testimony on that law. And when the BPA rule was developed in 2010, not one single Maine company stood up in opposition to restricting this chemical that wreaks hormone havoc. It's been linked to, and we're here to, prevent breast cancer, prevent prostate cancer, prevent learning disabilities, prevent reproductive harm, prevent obesity. Bisphenol A has been linked in more than 200 peer-reviewed science articles, research studies on these effects in test animals at levels that babies are being exposed to today in the United States. That's why Maine is the 9th state to act. That's why Canada has taken action. That's why the European Union has taken action. That's why many of the leading companies that manufacture products on their own initiative are moving out of this chemical. So we did have strong business support when the Kids Safe Products Act was passed in 2008. Several Maine manufacturers like Interface Fabric issued their support. Tom's of Maine supported the chemical policy reform. Correct Building Products out of Biddeford. So we had Maine people, we had physicians, we had parents, we had the vast majority of the Maine legislature, we had Maine businesses, and the only opposition was the chemical industry. And so why is Governor LePage joining with the chemical industry? That's a shock that he would carry their agenda for them. Fortunately, as I said, we're confident that the Maine legislature will take a more reasoned approach, will take a common sense, science-based approach, and will stick with us in defending the Kids Safe Products Act and defending the rule on bisphenol A. And we have a few members of the citizenry of Maine that will speak today about this from their own perspective. But first we wanted to thank a couple of legislators who have been champions on this issue, and they are the first to receive a small token of our appreciation. If maybe Elizabeth first, if you get one of our BPA-free water bottles, invite Representative Dana Dow to come up and provide you with this bottle. Thank you so much. Turn around for a moment. Elizabeth, come on up here with the representative. Representative Dow was a former state senator in 2007 and 2008, was a champion and saying, look, there are safer alternatives to toxic flame retardants in computers, for example, and that the Kids Safe Products Act makes sense as a common sense policy. So we thank you for your support and look forward to working with you. And we'll give you a chance to say something in just one moment. We also wanted to have, Kiara, could you get another bottle? We also wanted to recognize Democratic leader, Representative Emily Kane, and thank you for your support. And why don't we just turn around here to take a look, get a picture taken. Thank you so much. Representative Kane has been outspoken in her defense of protection of children's health. And now I want to turn it over to them. First, Representative Dow, if you'd like to say a few things. Thank you.
Thank you. Unlike many people, I guess I'm not in a panic mode because I realize that calmer heads will prevail. Through the legislative process, which I am convinced works well, in the spring of around 2007, somewhere in the spring, I was written up in an article in the Portland Press Herald as one of the new environmental Republicans. Matter of fact, I was the only one mentioned by name. I continue in that vein of thought. I guess I want to talk about some of my own experiences, though, because I was a guinea pig at one time. And I was asked to be a guinea pig for blood testing for several different chemicals along with some other people around the state of Maine. And when I got the results back, I found out that I was the high for a chemical used in my furniture industry, which I am a furniture store owner. I had a chemical in my body from spraying a chemical used for soil repellent. And we have no standards on that chemical. We don't know what it does to us. All I knew, I was the high. I have to tell you that I hadn't sprayed the chemical on any of my furniture for over a year and a half. But my employees were, and so I discontinued use of those chemicals. and do not sell the product anymore because I didn't want my employees exposed to it any longer, not knowing what the results were. Also, I didn't want my consumers exposed to it because if it gets on the sofas or mattresses, it can get into the air in the home, and we don't know what the results will be. There's many chemicals like that. Now, I'm an old chemistry and physics teacher. So while I was a guinea pig, I'm also not a stooge. And so I never go anywhere just to expound on a theory just because it makes good sense and good publicity, and the people that deal with me know that they have to give me good facts and figures to back up their arguments. And Al Gore is not one of my scientific sources. I use a higher grade of science than that. But I am here to help you realize that I think calmer heads will prevail, and I will continue to support programs that make everything safer for children. We have the right as a state to ask for higher standards than what the federal government gives us. Sometimes a lot of their standards are way outdated. We must remember that they okayed the use of DDT many decades ago, and so we have the right to come up with our own list of standards and proceed because we are a separate sovereignty, and we can do that, and we should do that. And I'm here as an environmentalist to encourage that we continue to go forward. And I'll say once more, I'm not in a panic mode. I'm going to continue to talk with all sides. I'm a businessman. I understand how important jobs are. So there's a balance that we have to walk. But we must not endanger our lives while we're walking that balance. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. That is a tough act to follow. For me, this is just about common sense. It's about if we can do things without these harmful chemicals, why wouldn't we? It just makes sense. If we can have products like this BPA-free, is that how you say it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the BPA-free water bottle that I will use probably tomorrow. Well, I do a weekly run, and I'll do that. I use it for that. And it makes sense that if you can have a better option, that we should move in that direction. And as a state, we should continue to maintain that standard and continue to be a model for the country as to how you can be a healthy society and how you can help others to be healthy by making these simple choices around not having these chemicals in our products, by trying to protect kids from the unknown impact that these, in many cases, proven to be dangerous chemicals have on their bodies at a very young age. So I'm proud to stand with Representative Dow and with the bipartisan members of this legislature that have supported this legislation in the past and will work to maintain it this session. And I want to thank all of you who came today, all of those who have continued to keep this on the front burner, to say we can't relax when it comes to the safety of our kids. It really is about common sense, and it's about we do have a better way, and we should seek that better way. And I just want to thank you very much for the gift. Thank you all for coming, and look forward to working with everyone over the course of the next 2 years to make sure that we don't move backwards when it comes to the health and safety of children in the state of Maine. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative King. Now, Megan Rice would like to share a few words.
Walk right here. My name is Megan Rice, and I'm a mother of 2 girls from the town of China. I'm here because I'm worried and I'm angry. I'm worried because my children are being exposed every day to dangerous chemicals in their toys, their food, their shampoo, their bottles, and so many ordinary products we all have around our homes. These chemicals can cause hormone havoc and result in learning disabilities, cancer, obesity, and reproductive problems. I would do anything to protect my kids from exposure, but the fact is there's very little that any parent can do. The situation is beyond frustrating. No parent would willingly take these risks. And I'm also really angry. Last week I participated in the Governor's Roundtable on environmental issues. I went because I thought he wanted to hear from us, and his words that day made me think that he was listening. But now it's obvious that he didn't listen, and he doesn't care about a healthy future for our kids as much as he cares about the chemical industry. His call to repeal the very laws that help parents protect their children from dangerous chemicals flies in the face of everything he heard from us last week, and frankly, common sense on every level. Who doesn't want to protect kids from toxic chemicals? I'm really confused. And since not a single Maine business testified against the Kids Safe Products Act, as Mike said, who is he trying to protect by dismantling this law and repealing the restrictions on bisphenol A? The Kids Safe Products Act passed unanimously by the Maine Legislature. It uses a systematic and science-based approach to get the most dangerous chemicals out of the products used by children like mine. Make no mistake, this is an issue that affects every family and small business in Maine. On behalf of parents across the state, I urge our legislators to continue Maine's progress toward protecting our children, their health, reducing the health care costs for everyone, and taking advantage of the economic opportunities created through safer chemicals. A home is no place for dangerous chemicals. Please reject the industry's wish list put forward by Governor LePage and instead help parents like me protect our children from costly and preventable chronic disease. Thank you.
Well, hello everyone, and I appreciate the opportunity to come up here and speak. My name is Fred Horch. I'm the owner of FW Horch Sustainable Goods and Supplies in Brunswick. I'm the father of 3, and I don't normally drive up to Augusta in the middle of a business day, but this was an important issue to me that took me away from my business. And the thing I want to say is we can't build a healthy economy on the backs of sick children. As a small business owner and father, I understand that we need reasonable regulation so we can sell products that are safe for our customers and their families. In today's world, myriad new chemicals are invented and introduced every day. We need high standards backed by rigorous science so that we can be assured that what we're selling is safe. Getting toxic chemicals out of our products so they'll stay out of our bodies is just common sense and the right way to do business in Maine.
My name is Betty Ann Sheets. I'm also a small business owner in Maine and also the mother of 2 children. And I want to say that this law has had no effect on my business. And like most small business owners, this law has not hurt my business at all. It has no cost to my business. It has many, many benefits to my family and my lifestyle. There's no benefit to repealing this law. It will not help me at all. It may help our tourist industry for people who are coming in. It may help a lot of industries. It may help a lot of small businesses with new initiatives that want to create organic products and green jobs. The repealing it will not bring new business in. People are not going, and there's no cost, people are not going to go out of state to buy stuff that they know has chemicals, hard bad chemicals in it. So we're not losing jobs because of this, or we're not losing sales because of this law. People are not leaving and going other places because of this law. There's no point in making a lot of money in our businesses if we turn around and spend that money on health care, especially for our children. We should actually be expanding this law, getting it out of other products. Representative Dow mentioned the chemicals that are in the soil repellent on sofas, soil repellent on carpets, those kinds of things where we lay our children on the floor to play or lay them on their bed and jump around. There shouldn't be chemicals in those things either. So we should be expanding this law, taking it out of all consumer products, not just kids' products, and not going back. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. My name is Sid Seawa. I'm a pediatrician right here in Augusta, about a half a mile down the road. I've been here for about 30 years, and I see some current and former patients in this room, and I even have some patients who are legislators, which is kind of a nice thing to see. I represent both the American Academy of Pediatrics Maine chapter and the chapter in Maine of the Physicians for Social Responsibility. And we, like Representative Dow, need facts and figures to support an issue. And after careful review of a very difficult literature in toxicology, we lauded the choice by the DEP of BPA as their initial chemical of concern, and are very disturbed by the current motion to eliminate that rule. Why are we concerned? Well, obviously as a pediatrician, I'm very concerned about the health of children, but also of their parents and their grandparents, who are essential for the thriving of any individual. And along with being associated with behavioral and endocrine effects in children, the BPA has also been linked with the higher rates of chronic disease that we see in our population as it ages. So for a number of reasons, both for health and for healthcare costs, physicians and healthcare groups in general are very concerned about the cumulative effects of various chemical toxins, including BPA, in our environment. And we strongly urge the current government to hold back on the restrictions on the work of the former legislature.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you everybody for coming today. I'm very, very pleased to stand here with my friends and colleagues, legislators, physicians, business people, and concerned parents to celebrate the progress that's been made to protect Maine people from toxic chemicals. We're here today to say that Maine safer chemicals laws are working. They offer common sense solutions to reduce the heavy burden of costly chronic diseases that affect every family, every school district, and every business in the state. Preventable diseases linked to toxic chemicals like learning disabilities, lead poisoning, asthma, and cancer. At least $380 million is spent in Maine each year alone on child health costs related to toxic chemicals. We're shocked that the governor has chosen to target these laws and the rule that will get toxic bisphenol A out of baby bottles and sippy cups. This is something that 8 other states have done, that Canada and the European Union have already done to protect their people. We believe that the administration's approach takes us in exactly the wrong direction. We need lawmakers to focus on keeping the Kid Safe Products Act working as it was intended, to help parents protect their kids by getting the worst of the worst chemicals out of products that we use every single day. Children should be safe at school too. We need lawmakers to make sure that kids aren't exposed to cosmetic pesticides when they're playing soccer or having fun on school grounds. We need to help our communities get more dangerous chemicals out of landfills and out of our groundwater by creating more public-private partnerships that encourage recycling. The public supports these laws, legislators support these laws. The only group that doesn't want these laws is the chemical industry. Over the years, the chemical industry has poured hundreds of thousands of dollars lobbying against Maine's chemical safety laws. And year after year, Maine people, our physicians, our nurses, our teachers, our small business owners, and our parents have spoken in support, and their legislators have listened. Let's face it, no jobs are going to be created by making children more vulnerable to disease, but by moving forward with more collaborative, common sense solutions to the problem of toxic chemicals, we can create new jobs in innovation, new jobs in manufacturing, and new jobs in product recycling. Our thanks go to the 164 legislators that voted for this, including the 74 legislators that are currently serving. We look forward to working with you to keep Maine moving forward with safer chemicals and products, lower healthcare costs, and healthier families. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Matt Fritterville, NRCM. So that is the close of our event here. We'd be happy to answer any questions on the microphone now, or feel free to interview any of the moms or kids, or take a look at the posters as well, showing the overwhelming political and public support. Thank you for coming.
My question is just about, when you say the chemical industry, who do you mean? Are they Maine companies? Are they out-of-state companies? Can you give examples?
They are out-of-state companies. Their National Trade Association changed their name. They were known as the Chemical Manufacturers Association. Now they're known as the American Chemistry Council. They're based in Washington, D.C. They're the trade group that represents chemical manufacturers. The manufacturers of BPA include companies like Dow Chemical. It's the major chemical companies, none of whom have a presence directly in terms of manufacturing here in Maine.
Has the governor or his administration given you, any kind of a response, or any you had any discussions with the administration? I mean, and obviously you've had discussions with legislators, but.
We asked to meet with Deputy Chief of Staff Kathleen Newman yesterday. She declined to meet with us yesterday. I'm sure we'll get a chance to talk in the upcoming days. So no, we've not talked to the administration yet.
So is there any sense of, you know, like during the red tape audits or any of the meetings that have gone around the state, that any of this concern has been raised there by particular Maine people?
That's a good question to ask the governor, because you know, I wasn't at those red tape meetings, but my impression is that this is lifted directly from the corporate lobbyists here in Augusta who represent the chemical industry and related clients, and it's their wish list. I don't think anybody is raising these issues. In fact, talking to legislators upstairs today, they're hearing about other types of concerns, other environmental programs. Nothing, they've heard nothing from their constituents about concerns with safer chemicals.
Do you share Representative Dow's optimism about other Republicans coming on board to protect that particular
I do have a lot of confidence in the Maine legislature. This has always been a bipartisan issue. If you look at one of the charts over here, it shows that over the last 10 years, what's the number there? Over 80% of Republicans have voted yes on a series of 9 different chemical laws. So there's always been strong bipartisan public support. So I have confidence that this legislature will, if they're new to the issue, will come up to speed and take a similar position. It's going to require education and communication to make that happen. Anything else? Thanks again for coming.
Thanks.
Yep.